For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin is the best. Listen up. NewsSpin is the best. Me say listen up massive. NewsSpin is the best, yeah. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show. All across the world. Check your signal, it blaze up the airwave. NewsSpin on your radio, hear me now. Tune in the frequency, come along, Junior. NewsSpin a vice up the place. NewsSpin is the best. Listen to the massive. NewsSpin is the best. Knowledge must abound. NewsSpin is the best. Fancy mount knock a play well. NewsSpin is the best. Papa Bond, yeah, by team, all man. A crappy land all across the globe. Echoes of voices, we join in hands in hands. We join in a flow. Harmony rising with the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show in the world. The true facts about Sophia volcano, Sandy Beach, banana and Sneem Malmo. Voices from the chat room, the capital Castries Hills. We feel you on Caribbean breeze. Teaching the truth, making hearts feel ease. Knowledge must open up every mind. Learn about your island home. We leave no one behind. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up the volume, Jay. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up your seats. Afternoon time. NewsSpin on your radio. Come along. NewsSpin on your radio. Let the message strong.
We're getting all set to either observe or celebrate the island's 47th independence anniversary. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. NewsSpin is on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel and Power 97.9 FM. In a bit I'll be hearing from you via your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Janti is here. She's already going through some of your comments in the chat rooms and she'll be having some updates for us. We hope you're having yourself an enjoyable and fantastic Friday and all set for a very long weekend in St. Lucia. What would have caused the long weekend? Getting all set, as I said before, to either observe or celebrate St. Lucia's independence anniversary, which we achieved in 1979. Are we coming of age? Are we maturing? Or is it a case that we are regressing? Or we are stagnant? Our NewsSpin question of the day. What is there to proud of as a St. Lucian this Independence weekend? What is there to be proud of as a St. Lucian this Independence weekend? We'll explore this during the course of our program this afternoon. We'll take you back to the year 2001. At the time, St. Lucia was observing its 25th Independence anniversary. And the St. Lucian poet and the broadcaster John Robert Lee interviewed the father of the nation, and he spoke on a range of issues, and including explaining the meaning behind our motto. Let's hear and let's also watch.
So the land, the people, and the light, to give them the education. So what we're doing is fulfilling the motto of this country. The motto that we gave. And we gave credit to who gave it. Hunter Francois. Minister of Education, who started the education reform. Started it. So, you know, it's not me. I had a good team. They speak about tourism with Mallet, with George Mallet. They started tourism from nothing, from what was it? The San Antoine and the Villa. That's where Mallet started. Look where we are today. You know, these are things, and you look back. I think that it give me pride and hope. And on the other side, when I drive down and I see in some areas the kids on the block, and I go to Bordelais and I see 400 youngsters, you know, and I hear the question of despair. I think what our people need is that fertilizer of hope to make the independence grow into a flourishing tree.
So John, I hope that as you've spoken with us today on this 25th anniversary of independence, that as even many of our young people have listened to you as an elder statesman, your experiences, that in spite of everything, the dark sides, but the positive achievements, that in fact they would feel hopeful. Any final remarks, Sir John, father of the nation, father of independence, before we go?
Let them look back. They should know. You know, one thing, as you're a historian, I'm giving you a lot of credit. I call you a Shakespearean.
You call me historian.
Yeah, now a historian. Yes. You know, we must get our history together.
Yes. Write it down.
We cannot allow the people of the present, including myself, to distort history. We have to get an objective story of this country. See where we came from. Let us not go too far back in slavery, because, you know, and colonialism.
The 20th century.
Let us not go crying in our hands all the time. Let us gather strength from our own achievements. Gather strength and show that what we can do, what we have done, and therefore what we can do by preparing ourselves for the future. It's preparation. You know, people speak about a genius. Say genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. We have the 1%. We have the 1% of inspiration. We have now to give the perspiration, the physical, the intellectual, the organizational, to build this country. That's what we have to do. We have, because if we look back, we see the 1% as inspiration. Now let us build on that by our own perspiration, by our own wanted to work, wanted to build. The world doesn't owe us a living. As I told the youngsters before, you're proud to be St. Lucian. You go out and be St. Lucian, you're proud. But let that pride not only be your birth certificate. Your certificate should not only be your birth certificate. You've got to go and educate yourself to meet the challenges.
The islands of first Prime Minister speaking some 25 years ago in that interview conducted by St. Lucian poet and also broadcaster. And Sir John there also described him as a historian, John Robert Lee. The legacy of Sir John Compton goes without saying. This is a St. Lucian leader who is peerless, meaning we cannot compare him with any of our past and current leaders. His detractors, people who hated him, they all would readily concur. But what about the current crop of leaders that we have in St. Lucia who are managing our affairs? Well, they're known for a couple of things. It's all about self-aggrandizement. It's about winning election after election. And it's not all about improving the lives of the people. They might say it. They might even mean it. But in terms of the reality, in terms of people being able to say that, yes, their lives have been touched in a significant manner by our modern day politicians, rest assured that the evidence is definitely not there. All we can do is to focus on our predicament and our plight as we speak. And I could think of no other issue than the water shortages that continue to plague this island. And those folks at the Water and Sewage Company and government ministers and government officials would tell you that we could attribute the problem to climate change, the drought. But I beg you to take into consideration, outside of the dry season, what happens? And there are many people in St. Lucia, unfortunately, in various parts of the island who can attest to the fact that the authorities have fallen woefully short when it comes to ensuring that they have potable water in the pipes, in the tap. Sir John Compton, being Prime Minister of St. Lucia in 2026, feeble, old, definitely would see this as a challenge that is worth undertaking. And those of you who lived during the John Compton era, who met him, those of you who worked with him, certainly would know that as much as probably the situation would still be very much in existence as we speak, it would not be that acute. What does that say about our current leaders? And Sir John Compton spoke about young people educating themselves. In the era of Sir John, compared to now, St. Lucians have and continue to do exceptionally well in terms of the strides that they have made academically and otherwise. They can compete with counterparts in almost any country in the world. So why do you believe that we have so many challenges that are proving to be monumental and beyond our capacity to meet head on? You are telling me that up to a day like today, you continue to see those people on television boldly suggesting that the way forward is water harvesting? As much as that is effective, one can consider this to be archaic and anachronistic. Why? Because our forefathers, they have been doing this for so long. It dates back to 30 and 40 years. This water harvesting that we are suggesting is a panacea, is a solution for our problem. Those water problems, water shortages that we're experiencing. Our forefathers, grandmothers, great-grands, etc., they have been experts at water harvesting. I don't think that it has really stopped. People are still very much into the harvesting of water in St. Lucia. So I can't understand why any leader in this country would almost see this as the primary solution to our problem. I mean, that's the mentality. Archaic, old school solutions to modern day problems that we are experiencing. And I dare tell you, we should be, with all the engineers that we have, with all the ministers for every kind of portfolio, every kind of saw that we have in St. Lucia, for us to be still in 2026 be facing this water crisis. Shame on us as a people. Those of us who continue to complain about that problem, you individuals who are responsible for ensuring that the water and sewage company operate at an efficient manner, at least efficient, not perfect. But we can hark back to a few years and say, yes, we have made strides as far as this water problem is concerned. The problem has been allowed, underline that word, it has been allowed to worsen. We continue to be at the mercy of not only climate change and the drought, but at the mercy of people who are just incompetent when dealing with this malady, this headache. And so many people are suffering in silence. And another set of people, they just prepared to call NewsSpin and to complain about this sore point. We're definitely on the trajectory that we are on right now, will not disappear anytime soon. Because we have allowed the problem to fester to the extent that we're hearing from the Prime Minister that what it will take to fix that issue is what? $200 million. At one time, it would have been $100 million. At one time, it would have been $50 million and $40 million and $30. But we've had several governments meeting weekly, cabinet meetings, and discussing the ills of the country and the society. We've had several general elections. They have been under hustings. And while you're under hustings, I imagine You focus on the issues that are affecting the people. You're telling me as politicians, as leaders, as prime ministers, whether you're talking about Philip J. Pierre, Stevenson King, Kenny Anthony, Alan Shastney, you guys did not see this as a priority? Something that's been plaguing us for so long. People from various communities in St. Lucia have been complaining. And all you have to do is to go back to NewsSpin programs of a few years, and you'll hear people complaining from nearly every section of the St. Lucian society, every community, some more than others. That means those cries, those pleas. I mean, mothers calling and saying, I have my daughter, I have my son, I have a baby, and I have clothes to wash, I have to cook. My children cannot go to school because we don't have water. You think that's an overnight situation that we are experiencing right now? And we boast. Come the 22nd, any activities? I'm a damn proud Lucian. 2 Nobel laureates. We have the Pitons. We have Julian Alfred. We have just issued commemorative stamps in her name. But something as simple, and I'm deliberately saying as simple, because I know that somebody who is in leadership position in this country would write someone on Facebook, this guy is ignorant and he's stupid and this water problem is more complicated than you think. And he says that it's a simple issue. It's simple. But you're just not prepared to deal with it. Because you continue to earn large salaries. You're holding significant positions in our country. You're at the helm of our various institutions. You have the NUC. We have Water Resource Management Department. We have departments in the Ministry of Forestry and Agriculture. And we have a Minister for Public Utilities. And you tell me it's just a case where those people don't care, or whatever they're doing, it amounts to spinning top in mud. And what do you, the people of this country, consumers, water consumers, what do you have to show for it? And it will only continue because we have just resigned ourselves to accepting it as the reality. This is a problem that is beyond us, but we can boast about having 2 Nobel laureates. We could boast about, making strides and gains in that area and the other area, etc., because politically we are going to benefit from those. But what about us ensuring that we do things that are seemingly not so sexy, like providing water to our people, as if that's not important? That's very, very important. That's crucial. But you'll hear Ministry of Tourism officials boast about more hotels at VG and other parts of St. Lucia. Where is the water coming from? And if you think the problem right now is acute, wait until we have those major projects materializing in the not too distant future. And wait until the next couple of weeks. We have sword tuning ceremony after sword tuning ceremony, and boast about more hotel rooms, having more people in St. Lucia, record number of visitors, worsening our problem. But it does not resonate with us that we need to consider this as a national disaster. And believe you me, it's not a natural disaster. It is a problem that's been ignored by too many people in St. Lucia. So it now amounts to a man-made disaster. That's what it is. A man-made disaster. One other issue before we hear from you. when it suits us, it is okay for Sanusians to go overseas and to excel. And we don't want those Sanusians to be turned or to be looked at as or to be frowned upon as foreigners. When those politicians go overseas and they excel in various areas, we applaud them, and rightly so. But if somebody of Sanusian parentage was not born in St. Lucia but born overseas, they come here, they excel, particularly if they enter the political arena, we heap scorn on them. And we make that an issue, not their competence or incompetence, but we focus on their color, their complexion, etc., their accents. And we have all kind of bad things to say about them. They're foreigners. They don't belong here. This guy is an old Guyanese. I don't know why he's a minister. And this guy was not born in St. Lucia. Plus, he's white. Why is he prime minister? There is this St. Lucian. We ought to be very proud of him. But I follow the talk shows in Barbados. Never heard of any Barbadian describing him as a foreigner. He was born in St. Lucia. His father is Bajan. His mother is St. Lucian. And he previously served as the Chief of Staff to Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Then, in February of 2025, he became a government minister. Minister with responsibility for innovation, industry, science, and technology. So Mia Mottley did her 13-0 routing of the Democratic Labour Party in that recent general election. And he again was chosen to serve as a senator in that same ministry. Innovation, industry, science, and technology. And all over Facebook. Oh, we're so proud of you, Jonathan Reed. Oh, you have excelled. You have done very well. A man of the soil, born in St. Lucia, doing so well in Barbados. Are we being hypocritical? So let's listen to Jonathan Reed. Moments after he took his oath of office and was sworn in as a government minister in Barbados. We take you back to February of 2025.
But I think I need to really resonate with the government policies with the general public and the ambition that's involved in the work. When I first started, I think like any other relatively young person, I felt, oh, well, government doesn't have many ideas. There are people who are just kind of plowing along and not doing dynamic things. I was very wrong. And there are extraordinary things that are attempted every single day, right? So from life sciences to plant science to there's all means of AI is being built all across government, all kind of interesting things that I don't think that resonates with the public. I think that needs to be much more to the fore. I think the idea of it being a whole of nation approach, I think that's something that's fundamentally missing. At the end of the day, government is made of Barbadians. The country is, has itself and has to focus on being the best version of itself to move itself forward. And I think there's that idea of us and them doesn't work in the world that we live in right now.
I just heard and saw Jonathan Reed speaking in February of last year, just when he was sworn in as a government minister in Barbados, minister with responsibility for innovation, industry, science, and technology. And he has been given that same responsibility in the new Mottley administration. Born in St. Lucia, went to Barbados a few years ago, and he's now part of that administration. Let me hear from you right now. It's long overdue. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And don't forget, Jante is here. She's going through some of your comments in the chat rooms, and she'll be having some updates for us. WhatsApp message I have grave concern, and it is about an obvious lack of proper communication and systems between the community health service and the fire service. And to be specific, I refer to the accident victim in Dennery yesterday on the motorcycle. To hear the guy was taken to the Dennery hospital and there were no doctors, really pathetic and unacceptable. We all know how precious minutes count in saving a life in serious injury cases. The medical know that. The CMA knows that. So the fire service should be informed of which medical facilities are opened and manned, and which ones are closed, which ones have doctors, and which do not, via a daily memo, which will guide them to also know what is the next closest medical facility that is available when they respond to calls. And it continues. Only a few weeks ago, a student in crisis was taken to a health center, which was again unstaffed by a doctor and nurses. Several precious minutes were lost, and like the young man, sadly the child died. That is, a mother and a father who no longer have their child in their own future to help them when they are elderly, Tim, this is putting the people first. I'm calling on Minister Jean-Baptiste in Health and Minister Jeremiah Norbert and CMO to look into this matter seriously, not only because it concerns the fire service, but people are losing a fighting chance to survive. Tim, BCF is just next door. The schools and highways are right there. And no doctors at a medical facility. Share government neglect. I remember many years ago, both a mother and a baby died in Soufrière Hospital because of that. And Rick Wayne really highlighted that tragedy, and this level of governmental neglect is still happening in this country. I would like to warn all the citizenry to be safe this Independence weekend, because emergency response and the health system is not designed to save lives in this country. Period. That's according to a WhatsApp message. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, Tim, rainwater harvesting is not the solution. I'm currently working with an institution with a 10,000 gallon rainwater collection cistern. The cistern is now dry, as there was not enough rain last year to fill it compared to consumption. And yet another WhatsApp message, and this one says, I must say it was fantastic to hear the voice of Sir John Compton. I must compliment you. The Forestry Department is a key department within the government. As a matter of fact, in the 80s upwards, was the department actually responsible for the protecting and enhancing water resources within the island. The department, not too long ago, has planted trees above the Roseau Dam to facilitate prevention of siltation. You think you should call on them to say something about the water crisis. Mr. Prosper, while in forestry, was a key figure involved at the time. Let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You on the air. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Okay, let's see. Good afternoon. Okay, we have lost that call. All right, continue to call us once again at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Another WhatsApp message. I remember the late George Odlum. Forward ever, backward never. Well, I think with this socialist government, we are forward never, backward ever. Let's see if we get this call on the line or on the air. Let's try again. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller. Hello.
Bonjour, bonjour. This is Diana Charles and Sugar Cake Charles.
Oui, bon après-midi, Diana Charles.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I just want to clarify something here, because in respect to the guy that did utter the threats to Mr. Philippe J. Pierre, I just want to put this at rest. In my opinion, is it okay?
Hello?
What I want to say, we say things out of anger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, when we don't think on certain things we upset about, including me, I react to certain things, and I would go ahead and apologize. But it takes a strong person to go on social media to say, okay, this is this, this is that. But my people, I find where it's wrong, where they actually trying to say that the guy have to face the penalty for uttering threats to the Prime Minister. Now, listen to me very carefully. Give me that time because I am busy myself, but I know a lot of people will find me stupid and ignorant, but I'm not. But what I want to know and understand, my people, which I always try to understand, is even if Mr. Philip Jete is the Prime Minister, yes, he is the Prime Minister, but what about other people? What about dogs? What about me? What about the other people? We don't deserve the same respect? What about the threats that people have done to me? What about threats that people have done to my dog? What about threats? So, Prime Minister is what? The law. I know the law about uttering threats to a Prime Minister or an authority, right? But if someone understand what I'm saying, if the person is hurt, and my brother, I support him. He's not my brother, like blood brother. But I'm saying that he's saying he apologized, right? Why if the man apologized, you still want him to go to jail because he said something? Every single body has uttered threats before. Look at Mr. Alan Shackley. How many times did racial income things have been saying to the man and he's been humble? They want him to get out of St. Lucia. What? What about the dog? Nobody knows about the dog. So who killed the dog? And the list goes on. So leave the man alone. So I'm saying, every single time, my St. Lucian people need to find their soul, find their love in their heart. Forgive people, because I personally, when I say what I say, I know St. Lucian will never forgive. The only forgiveness people know is when you are in your graveyard. They will see you there and take a picture when you're going down the tube. That's it. So I want to understand people. When people are upset, majority of St. Lucians are angry. I don't know if they have lack of money, if the issues are being resolved, they are not disciplined, they say things and they don't mean it. And after with this guy, it could be the law, the fact that he lost his brother on the sea, and Mr. Philip Jete need to act and say, okay, we voted for you. Why Donald Trump has to do what he did? So the guy got upset. We expect Philip Jete to act like Donald Trump. He cannot face Donald Trump. Philip Jete is scared of Donald Trump. So how am I supposed to go to St. Lucia and feel protected under government who cannot speak? So this is my problem. This is why people are upset. I'm upset. People getting hurt, and the Prime Minister is putting it under the carpet. So how am I feeling protected? What am I supposed to tell my daughter? What am I supposed to go to St. Lucia? If something happens to me, my Prime Minister cannot say there is a law against things. There's a girl or several people getting killed. And the Prime Minister, nobody knows who's killing who. Some people get upset. So this is what I'm doing. I don't take drugs, but at the end of the day, my Philip Jete, I care about. I love him. I have a picture of him. I'm looking at him right now as we speak on my wall unit. Philip Jete, you need to be acting, and if you want to protect your country, you need to face Donald Trump to stop harassing black people and stop. Let's hear you speak. You say you are a man, right? You are Prime Minister. That's what they put you today. But this is my contribution to that show. Because if I am voting for Prime Minister, it's to protect my country. I have rights to that country, but there's no laws in the country. When people are hurt, I have blood in me too. When I see people are hurt, some women are hurt. like that. They're supposed to be laws. I can even keep my balcony open in Canada. And there's nobody can do nothing to me. So my country protect me. But St. Lucia cannot protect me. Any of my family. So this is my contribution. This is why people are upset. This is why my black brother upset. So this is it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go back to where I...
Hello? Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Just so there from Diana Charles. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. Let's see if we have another call. Somebody says that I really thank you for the preamble today, but as long as it goes out, Prime Minister can never compare to Mayor Motley in terms of leadership. I await to see the vision of the Prime Minister yet. Fundamental stuff like roads and jobs can be progress for some people, and this is a must from the government ministers. What is the vision of the Prime Minister? I'm interested in, so I would like to pose the question to you, Tim. What is the vision of the Prime Minister that can be enlightened on this issue? 4522979. Somebody says there, Tim, your last caller, Ms. Charles, needs to be aware threatening anyone is illegal. Doesn't matter who. So if she was threatened, she should report it. We take these matters too lightly. Even if you say so with no intent, someone else hearing the threat may act upon it. We have become inured to violence. So sad. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says there, I detest the fact that St. Lucians leave their country to educate themselves and remain there to develop countries that are already more developed than ours, then call talk shows to criticize the lack of development or backward nature of St. Lucia. Let's take a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. NewsSpin, you on the air.
Timothy, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, Timothy, I want to address that situation. You know by that computer world building in Guado was where they put the no right turn there.
Yes, sir.
Timothy, no matter how long the traffic line may be, but it's working, right? But Timothy, it is getting out of hand now, Timothy. People go back to that same resort, to that same thing again, Timothy. They used to go in by computer world, they blocked it out. You cannot go in there and swing right onto the road. The other building next side, they used to go in there and swing right, they blocked that. But Timothy, what the people is doing right now, the people pretending that they're parking on the side of the road, and the guys are making a U-turn, Timothy, right there between the Windjammer Junction and where they have that bar there, Timothy, and that is causing another traffic backup, Timothy. And I mean the drivers that's on the main road that know the guys are not supposed to do that, they're actually stopping and allowing them to do it, Timothy. Timothy, why can't we? It's true that people will say the country is a lawless country. Why can't we follow laws? Just follow a simple thing. Timothy, I goes to Korean from going to Vienna if I have things to do there. But on my way back, I know I cannot make a right turn if I'm going to Grocery, Timothy. I pass the main road. Simple as that. Whatever somebody doing is wrong, they know what they are doing is wrong, Timothy. I mean, nothing from one problem to the other. They put in no right turn there. You know, and it's created a havoc now, and it's a norm, you know, Timothy. Right now, sometimes when you see you passing, there are about 10, 12 vehicles in the back road, and they're actually swinging into the road, making a U-turn.
Well, I'd like to believe that the authorities are aware of this practice, and therefore, why not have a police officer there during peak hours, morning, 4:30 in the afternoon, thereabout?
I would advise the police, if it's supposed to be law, make it law. All you do, you put a camera there, and charge these people on that camera. You ticket them on that camera, you review that camera. When they come to pay their license or their road license, unless they don't go and clear the backlog of tickets they have there, do not let them pay. So you cannot drive. I mean, the penalty is supposed to be more stiffer for people to understand themselves on the road, Timothy. Don't let nobody that tell you the thing is not working, because before the back road was coming, just like the main road. You understand what I'm telling you? Right now, they put the thing that is up a bit and it's getting out of hand now. Female drivers like male drivers are doing the same thing. Or the minibus drivers is worse yet. And that's just creating a whole traffic mess there.
But Cole, I think the problem is what we have done. We've become a set of people who are asking people who are breaking the law to police themselves.
Yeah, that's simple.
Okay, no, but it cannot always work. It doesn't work that way. asking people to police themselves, asking people to behave. As much as you can do that, you also need to have deterrence. You need to have police officers, 1 or 2 police officers on duty at peak hours to ensure that people do not break the law.
Like you are so right, because for instance, day before yesterday I was driving up, I saw 3 police and motorcycles by glass. I said, well, probably the one going to station themselves there to monitor what's going on. Like the guys were just on the merry-go-round, they just went up, and by the time I passed there, past Bois, they were just on their way coming back down, and like, I mean, nobody paying attention to what they, I mean, when they peak hours, put a police there. Where all the recruits that they have in the police station, put a...
And the motorcycles have been given to them.
Do something about it, because it is getting worse, you know. It started 1-1-1-1-1 doing it. Some of them are even taking the chance. They're actually doing the right turn. They're doing the right turn. I mean, people just follow laws. Just follow laws, because everything a human being is doing is wrong. They know what they're doing is wrong. There is no excuse for that. It is not yesterday they put that there. It is not last week. It is not the week before last. All we need to do is just follow the laws, and everything will just be fine. And the drivers that's assisting the people in doing it, you know what they're doing wrong. Do not stop for them. Because if you do not stop for them, they cannot do it. You understand, Timothy?
Yes, sir.
They're actually stopping for them, allowing them to do it. That's my contribution this afternoon.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us, sir. And the WhatsApp message, somebody says, can you please tell our Prime Minister that he already won the election? This man sounds like the election is just around the corner. I tried listening to him speak at the opening of the new police station, but it felt like a Labour rally. Good afternoon to you, Jante. Let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, we have one saying, all feds should be cancelled. Stay home and reflect on what you want this country to be. Another saying, educate yourself, but keep us... He said educate yourself, but kept us on a shift system indefinitely. Gave 1 scholarship per year. Never subsidized loans for foreign education. Since we had no universities, we did it on our own. Another saying, Tim, every leader that came after Sir John should have built upon what the previous leader did. Forget what wasn't done. Another saying, honestly, no one should be threatened. Is she okay? Another saying, St. Lucia has no love, just greed, jealousy, and arrogant indecency. It's a shame to be a damn proud Lucian. Another saying, even Diana sees what the PM should do. Wow, bravo Diana. Moving to Facebook, we have one saying, well said Diana Charles. Another saying, Princess Diana on the mic, take notes. Another saying, what are you going to tell your daughter and your dog? Another saying, 2.5 months after election, you want to know what the vision of the PM is? Why didn't you get to know this before elections? Another saying, Alan Charleston was threatened more than once and not a word was said. Another saying, did the person who asked that the grenade be placed under the seat of Shastney and Fede as well as Guy, has she ever offered an apology? Another saying, the next caller will be PW. Another saying, we laugh, but she has a great point. Another asking, doesn't the emergency personnel update on which medical facilities are open and running? Another saying, those young men, aren't they tired of killing themselves on motorcycles? Another saying, the one and only Princess Diana Charles. Another saying, John Compton, however, was not born in St. Lucia. Another saying, extremely hypocritical. Those same individuals are the ones who make fun of Fede and others. Another saying, no St. Lucia not born in St. Lucia should be made PM of the country. Another saying, Tim, you're not being fair with Shaz, please, because he had a plan, but was not given the chance to say what he wanted. Another saying, no, Tim, Alan tried his best to fix the water problem. Another saying, to fix St. Jude, 200 million, to build a courthouse, 200 million, to repair Wasco's infrastructure, 200 million, is the only figure that our Prime Minister knows. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. That is very, very important. Still to come, more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. The Briefcase is hosting a pop-up in Vieux-Fort Town Square on Saturday, 28th of February 2026, offering fast, stress-free help with passport and visa applications. They also assist with passport renewals, police records, U.S. visas, and business registration. No lines, no hassle, just expert support, all in one place. You can also visit their main office on High Street, Castries, opposite the ID card office, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Special promotion: apply for a passport with a Briefcase for a chance to win a trip to Martinique aboard Express des Îles for Independence. Promotion ends on February 28th, 2026.
St. Lucia, Peter and Company is doing it again. At Peter and Company Auto, we're offering unbeatable value on Nissan. Right now, you can get amazing deals on Nissan Frontier XE and the stylish Nissan Qashqais. Ready to drive, ready to impress, ready for you. Whether you need a power for that rugged road ahead or comfort for everyday driving, Nissan delivers performance, technology, and reliability you can trust. Don't wait, you deserve this. Call us today at 458-6950, 458-6957, or 458-6958 to book your test drive. Peter and Company Auto, Nissan, innovation that excites.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit LuCelect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with LuCelect.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, Vieux-Fort, 454-6555.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So fast pay, so fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
At
Caribbean Pastouche Limited. We offer high quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
CPJ, fresh mat, give me a fresh start. Look at money I saving.
Spending money and 9 on facts. Cause there's so many things that I can get.
With everybody crying, but finally it's here. With value for your money, so don't worry, have no fear. Don't worry about no parking, there's parking everywhere. CPJ Fresh Market, there's no doubt, the choice is clear.
And you saving money every day.
At CPJ,
a wide variety.
At CPJ,
great customer service, yeah.
At CPJ,
on the highest quality.
At CPJ.
CPJ Fresh Market, where service is just the beginning.
Independent savings are here. From Thursday, February 26th to Sunday, March 1st. Enjoy a massive 25% off store-wide at M&C Home Depot and Sunbelt locations. Fix it, build it, refresh it. Now it's time to save big. Enjoy 25% off tools and all your home improvement essentials. Stock up and celebrate independence the smart way, plus amazing doorbuster deals you don't want to miss. Hurry now! Independent savings are for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. See in-store for details.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world, where we continue to take your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says the happy independence to you, Miss Charles. You are the only independent person I know out of many. That's what freedom of speech means. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And somebody says there, hi, good afternoon. I sent you a text via WhatsApp, but never heard you mention it's concerning the assistance required from this arrogant consulate general in Martinique. We will be in full force to ensure that this individual is replaced immediately. Too much wickedness. We will keep in touch on your show, but we are pleading with the Prime Minister to investigate this matter. It's getting out of hand. Well, we have no evidence what you're saying there is true, caller. But we hope that whatever concern that you have, you definitely can rectify it with the consulate office over in Martinique. And if it warrants intervention of the authorities in St. Lucia, that will be done. WhatsApp message. Tim, election is over and very few promises are being spoken of. Example, the supposed opening of the St. Jude Hospital. Instead, it's all about independence celebration, jazz followed by carnival, etc. Nothing of serious promises made pre-election. Lucians have very short memories as long as there's a fete on a daily basis. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And the person says that Tim Check Road have too much concrete going up. Oh, Shock Road has too much concrete going up the hill. Another one says, Tim, still no water in Piat Grand Riviere Grosile. Person says again, still no water in Piat Grand Riviere Grosile. More WhatsApp messages. Why wasn't there a similar outrage when that woman from VA4 said that a bomb should be placed under Alain Chastain and Guy Joseph's seat in Parliament? I don't recall anyone calling for her arrest. Hypocrites. That's according again to our WhatsApp message. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
I have a couple of questions for you, sir. Mr. Intellectual. Could you give me, well, you know you want to answer that, but I'll still ask you the question. Could you tell me the reason why St. Lucia is looking like a war zone? Like a war about to be started in St. Lucia?
You say St. Lucia is looking like a war zone? I am in St. Lucia right now.
Looking like a war. Looking like a war. Supposed to start anytime with the warships and some submarines and drones and blah 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 blah, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, what I'm told, caller, is that those warships normally are in our waters, particularly in the run-up to the observance of the island's independence anniversary. Mostly from Great Britain. They're here to participate in the various activities, sir.
So they are British warships, they're not American warships.
I don't know if we have any American warships in our waters, but I could tell you about the British warships. And what we have in St. Lucia, I think we have some of them. I think one might be in VA4, and then we have in the north of the island are sail drones. And they are here, I'm told, not officially, I'm told they are here for maintenance purposes. And normally... Maintenance purposes.
You really believe that?
Caller, I don't know. That's what I'm told. For maintenance purposes, sir.
But let me say this to you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I think. So Philip Martinez invited Philip and his Bogus gang to come up to the US to see what he have, to show them. And they call him all kind of names. Insults to look at anything. Like what it did to the great Sir Alan Michael Shasty, like what it did to Kenneth Richard and blah, 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 blah. And now, you know what the man done? He took his stuff and he gave it, it's in the hands of Congress and the DOJ, the U.S. Department of Justice. They're dealing with Maduro. They know Pierre is in love with Tinubu and Maduro. The hammer is coming down on them. Because for what I've heard, a little bird told me, it's something to deal with fraud, money laundering, fraud, and corruption. Okay?
Well, caller, we don't know that. We have not received...
I said
I don't
what
care.
I've heard.
I don't care about what you've heard. I don't care about your little bird. I am interested in people coming forward and providing us with... hold on, with evidence, things that we can substantiate. Because anybody can call and say that they heard, and it is alleged, and that is what is being said in certain circles. Yeah, we don't know that to be a fact.
I give you that one. Could you tell me, for sure, how many ministers that could travel to the U.S.?
What?
Or if there's any minister that could travel to the U.S. at present?
Cole, I don't have that information at my disposal right now, and I don't know. Hold on. I don't know why that would be an issue as well. Maybe you heard it somewhere, and maybe again, we cannot substantiate whatever assumptions that you are making, sir. And where we cannot substantiate things, there's no need for us to peddle them on this program.
Tim, we know the Prime Minister has been lying, Philip J. has been lying on the U.S. government. That we know for sure. And don't tell me you don't know that one either. The U.S. is bringing on the hammer on St. Lucia.
What we know for a fact, there was a denial by the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. Yes, there was a denial.
Right. Okay? Who's lying? They or them?
I don't know.
Tim, let me say this to you. Right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, St. Lucia is very hitting 1, you know. Because Philippine and Magus gang ain't showing the U.S. no respect, you know. And dealing with Russia and China, Russia and China gonna left him in the hot water, you know. They run away and left him there. Let me tell you. Russia ain't got nothing to do with him, you know, right now, you know. Russia had some people there in Venezuela. Before I went to check out that lady that ran against Maduro. They took her out and take her to Norway or somewhere. Putin tell his men in Venezuela, come out of there, come out. Swatila, come out. Move on.
I think you're talking about things that you have no facts to back up.
Those are facts. Those are facts.
No. Those are your facts.
Those are facts.
All right.
Those are facts.
Mr. Bermuda, I'd like to thank you so much for calling. Okay? No, I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling, sir. We have to move on. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see where there was happening via WhatsApp. Somebody says, that caller who is yanking, ask him to go back to St. Lucia to get all information he needs. Troops done. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says, Tim, is it only this time around? When last in all your years have you seen this U.S. aircraft late last year at Urinora Airport? Now there's warship in our waters. We need the authorities to come out and tell us what is really going on. And I need Wasco to remove that 10% on my water bill because I am from the south. That's according to a WhatsApp message. We have some sufficient PR individuals who have been hired by the government of St. Lucia who are monitoring NewsSpin from 12:30 until we conclude. For those individuals, whenever situations and questions of that nature arise, for them to call and clarify instantaneously. It seems that there are certain issues that they are more anxiously looking forward to addressing than others. Those warships that we have in our waters and people are concerned, and what we have, those sail drones and so on, and people are rushing to all kind of conclusions. By now, somebody should have called this broadcast to address this particular issue, because I don't think that many people are jumping to conclusion, but you can understand that amidst all what is happening in our waters, what recently happened between St. Lucia and St. Vincent, that people will be very suspicious and they'll be living on edge. Let's see if we have another of your WhatsApp messages to go through while we are waiting your calls at 452-2979. Once again, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And via WhatsApp, somebody says there, I am from England and I visited St. Lucia. I have noticed that the cost of alcohol is significantly lower than the basic necessities required for St. Lucians to live on, such as milk, sugar, water, and salt. It's quite disheartening. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, good day. Threatening any prime minister is a threat against the state. In the United States, there are protected laws, and it's a serious federal crime under U.S. laws to threaten the president or other protected officials. And yet another WhatsApp message. Tim, it says there, Dennery Hospital isn't a trauma center. It's a polyclinic with the name hospital. Dennery Hospital has doctors on Mondays and Fridays. Tuesday to Thursday, Saturday and Sunday, doctors are on call there. There isn't any x-ray, which some people well know about this because when that individual wasn't in government, he spoke about it. While I believe Dennery Hospital deserves more services, especially because of the correctional facility in the Dennery area, we need to bring ourselves back to reality because the Prime Minister cannot even get enough money to run St. Jude's. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And let's see if we have another message. And the person says that, Tim, although I don't agree with what happened to the fishermen, there are a lot of drugs coming into the United States via the Caribbean. So the president will try to do everything to stop drug trafficking into his country. And let's see if we have any more of your WhatsApp messages. Tim, is there still a Leahy law? Isn't it the same U.S. who went after President Duterte of the Philippines for the execution of drug traffickers in his country? Yes, there is still Leahy Law, which came into effect in 1997. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. Okay, I don't think we have any. Let me turn my attention to Jante. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Well, Tim, starting off on YouTube, we have a comment reading, "We claim to be independent with a national public debt of $5.6 billion with no reserves. When Sir John Compton left office in 1996, St. Lucia's debt was $190 million with $400 million in reserves." Another comment reads, "Tim, we need water in Degazor. Tell Wasco our life is being cut short." Wasco said water is life. "The warship is actually a yacht." Moving to Facebook, we have one saying, "They should cancel Carnival and Jazz and take the money to fix the water crisis because that is more prominent." Another Facebook comment saying, "Shash tried to build on what Sir John left, but they knocked him down for it." Caller, you have no right turns. Caller, that no right turn is actually not working. It's making traffic worse from the time that they did it. We have another news spinner saying, referring to the warship in the country, maintenance purposes of all places, St. Vincent and the Grenadine has a reputable boatyard. Why didn't they go there? We have another news spinner asking, why did they spend over $2 million on a police station but the roads to the station are terrible? We have a comment saying, Tim protecting his peace at all costs. And another saying, Tim, answer Mr. B please, who is lying, they or them? And another asking, why do Degazo people keep calling, why don't they call Kenson for water? E-ringy, E-ring. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. We have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says, Tim, so a man under the influence of drugs and alcohol threatened the Prime Minister, which I'm totally against. I am hearing statements that the man has to be arrested and charged. What about the idiot in Chase Gardens who threatened to blow my young brother's head? Clearly seen with a gun in his hand. This young man didn't get arrested, knowing that my brother ended up dead the same day with a blow to his head and chest. Dead along with his girlfriend and friend on the same day. But for the Prime Minister, it's a different story. Why is St. Lucia like that? Every life matters. Up until today, I'm still waiting to hear the Prime Minister address the nation about the triple murder on September 16th. What help or counseling was rendered to my grieving mother? They claimed he went to buy a gun and was robbed and killed, so the criminal forgot to take the other valuables in his possession. I'm not into politics. I have nothing against the Prime Minister, but this nonsense in St. Lucia needs to stop. Too much corruption. The little people matter too, so fix it. Those people in power didn't have to go. Those people in power, Christopher Dominic and Turnier, didn't have to go like that. God is not sleeping. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. This person says this Dennery Hospital needs to be relocated. That's according to a WhatsApp message. In just a bit, some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages on this, the most monitored talk show in the world. Please stay with us.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastuche Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, casting sand and plastering sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastuche Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastuche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
La Clinique du Corps leads the Caribbean in advanced MRI, aligned with globally recognized standards. Avoid overseas stress, delays, and cancelled scans. Reports in 24 to 48 hours. No translation, no overseas processing. Your doctor receives your imaging directly for seamless continuity of care. All major insurance accepted. Call 451-6559. Once again, 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. The WhatsApp number 721-9950.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
The Roadhouse experience awaits. Crave something real? Get ready to experience the ultimate destination for unforgettable memories. The Roadhouse experience. Feast your senses with exceptional service, all under one roof. From our classic restaurant and bar to our exclusive private nightclub. Unwind at our elevated hookah bar. Gather in our versatile conference room for any event, or even shop at our variety store. Ditch the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Raj Roadhouse promises real vibes, real fun. Nestled in cul-de-sac along the Bexar Highway. Call us at 286-6249 for more information.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Thank you so much for staying with us with this, the most monitored talk show in the world. And the island, of course, is getting all set for its independence anniversary celebrations. A series of activities are scheduled to come off with between today and next week. One of those activities, of course, will take place on Sunday. And that event is called the Independence Seafood Festival. I'm trying to see if I could establish contact with one of the organizers. I suspect he is on the line. Let me say hello. Good. Okay, he's not on the line. But this event is scheduled for this Sunday. Once again, the Independence Seafood Festival. I was trying to see if I could establish contact with Mr. Philip Sidney, who is one of the organizers. As soon as we're able to do that, we'll be speaking with him. In the meantime, we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you're on the air? Hello, good afternoon. Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller. Good afternoon.
Yeah, listening about this water business.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to Soufrière and stand up on the bridge and see that the water I don't know where it's coming from, but 365 days that water is running straight to the sea. And that water is crystal clear. I don't see why they can do something about that to get this water out of there and purify it.
To utilize it?
Yeah, 365 days that water is running down, Tim. And it goes straight to the sea.
We are existing in desperate times, Colin. And I think anything we can do to channel our resources, to use whatever water that we have at our disposal, underground water, desalination, we should be looking to various methods to solve this problem. Other than just saying people, get involved in water harvesting. We can do more.
Yeah, man, they should try to do something about that, Tim, because that water is just wasted. It's a lot of water, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of water.
Well, sir, the folks at Wasco are listening, and here's hoping that they will do something about the suggestion that you have just made. And Wasco cannot say that they are not receiving a myriad of suggestions from the NewsSpin community. People have been calling, and not only in recent days, but definitely in recent months, a number of people have been calling to offer various suggestions as to how we could deal with the island's water challenges. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And in just a moment, we'll be having our final update from you, Jante, so please stand by for that. All right, let's see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, hey, Tim, good day, lots of things in Alusha. Minister Lisa Jawayer, they just left St. Jude at the stadium. I don't know what does have to do with my audience. All right, let's see. I think Mr. Philip Sidney is on the line. Hello, good afternoon to you, Mr. Sidney.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir. I imagine that you're hard at work getting us all set for this Independence Seafood Festival. Tell us about it.
Yes, my phone is on fire.
Yes, tell me about it.
Okay, Tim, we are back again every year with the Independence Seafood Festival. We began this a few years ago, where we were looking at getting people to prepare the lionfish, which is an invasive species here in St. Lucia, and then we had somebody who at a festival tried to we showed people how to clean it and how to prepare it in various ways, and there are other fish species like the blue marlin and the skipjack. So we began with that, and that went very well, and we continued. And today it's a staple. It is on the independent activities. So right now it is called the Independent Seafood Fish Festival. It is on the 22nd, the same day of Independence, 22nd of February. And of course it's in the Fish Complex in Sanssouci. And it starts at 11 a.m. and it ends at 11 p.m. We have about 16 food booths, and we have asked the vendors to think outside the box, prepare their own menus, prepare their own their own seafood dishes.
Mhm.
You know, for example, there's a gentleman who is doing a seafood lasagna. You know, so this time around is going to be bigger and better because we have people who are really thinking outside the box. We are looking at our creativity in terms of getting the young people involved for them to appreciate what we have. And of course, our tagline in the ministry is to eat fresh St. Lucia's best. So that's why we are encouraging, persons to think outside the box and to create dishes that you will not imagine. The young people, the school livers, they are very, very, very versed in doing so. So on the day in question, you come in. The kids there'll be a kids zone, and so you can come in as a family day. You can enjoy yourself while your kids are having fun. You to the adult can have fun because there are going to be bars here, especially the Big Mama's bar. I'm sure Tim, you know that bar very well.
Very well.
So you can come in here and spend the day. And to keep you here too, we have entertainment, which starts at 2 o'clock and it's ending at 11 o'clock. So we start with a panelist, Omar Gabriel, who won a competition last year, and then we go to East Coast Band. We go down to the Alpha. We have Arthur. We have Impulse Band. We have Invida. We have GYP, of course, be closing. We have General Biggs. We have Ali Katz. And brother, the list goes on and on and on. So it's going to be a vibe, and we know the place is getting a bit too small. However, the ambience is nice. We want to keep it there. But however, we may decide, if I'm still around, to move to another venue. But again, it will still remain. It's registered on the calendar of activities for Independence. It's called the Independence Food Festival, and it will remain that way. I want to say thank you to a number of persons and organizations who have helped us. I must say thank you to the brewery, and I'm saying thank you to Darren, who was giving us a lot of assistance. And I also want to say thank you to the distillers, to Barron's Foods, Massey Stores, the CCC, the mayor, Lendo Gabriel, and of course her team of guys, McGrath and his team. I mean, we got a lot this time around. We got a lot of assistance, and I really, really want to thank everybody who has given us that support. That seafood festival, people love seafoods. I know it's a bit expensive, but we are asking the vendors to please be reasonable in selling the seafood, the foods. Be very, very generous to the young ones. They too want to be part and parcel of the whole melee. So we want it to be a vibe, and that is exactly what we want to do. We want to look at our food and nutrition security in this country. We have a new minister who is very enthusiastic. She wants to see things happen. We did a lot of work last year with this government. They have the fishers very, very well, and farmers inclusive. A lot was done, and then we are hoping, and the minister said so, the new minister, to really get going to work on what was there and to increase the assistance given to fishers here in St. Lucia.
Well, you said earlier on that the place is getting a little bit small. You're talking about the fisheries complex. Does that mean that come next year you might look for a new venue?
That is possible because we like the ambience here because it's right on the waterfront.
Yeah.
We have the boats are right there. It is rustic. It is nice. The fishermen are right there. But then I don't know. We have to look at it. People are saying we should move to the sub. Moving to the sub, I'm thinking it might lose the whole fervor.
Yeah.
But the intimacy will be lost. But however, we will be looking at it. We watched it this time because not again. A lot of the activities are going to be held down in the in the southern end of the island, in Miku, the Raleigh Bin Miku, the Purili Bin Miku, you know, we have this other activity in V4. So so based on that, a lot of people will come to the activity here, you know. So it's getting bigger and bigger every year. So we really have to, you know, think outside the box and decide exactly, because we have to add a number of things. Like this morning, Jaime was telling me we should have a section where we can have the youngsters to go and fish, you know, and then tell them about the various species we have. A lot of them do not know that.
Not far out, not too far out.
So true, you know. But I like the idea. It's a vibe. Just give them a line, and then, you know, and have, for example, the lionfish. Show them how to clean the lionfish, you know, because the spikes are very venomous. Guide them. And do you know that will be another fisherman down the road?
Yes.
So we have to think outside the box, you know what I mean?
All right, Mr. Philip Sidney, thank you so much. All the best. Wish you all the success come Sunday, right, for this Independence Seafood Festival, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., right?
Definitely.
Okay,
yes, sir.
All right.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for calling. Just so there from Mr. Philip Sidney. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms. Let me turn my attention now to Shanti.
Starting off with YouTube, Tim, we have one saying, deportees are here, hence the reason for the warship. What the guy said to the PM was a threat, but he realized that and he apologized. But the people who are committing real crimes get away free. Those are the ones who should be in jail. Another comment here reads, the drugs go to the US because there's a market. Another saying, St. Lucia is a failed island. A failed state is a sovereignty entity that can no longer fulfill basic functional responsibilities such as maintaining law and order, etc. Believe it or not, St. Lucia is a failed state. Moving to Facebook, we have our first comment reading, Tim, did you hear that drugs are floating on some shores of St. Vincent? We have another saying, St. Lucia is not in a good place. Our for pollutions. Another reading, St. Lucia National Trust, why the silence now? We have a NewsSpin saying, Tim, you see Philip JP and that man's issue. I am drinking my drum of harvested water and minding my own business. We have another NewsSpinner reading, the whole Wasco team are hacks caller. They don't care, just like Peep. If St. Lucia is not protecting its borders from drugs or illegal guns, well, the U.S. is protecting its borders for safety for all. Tim, when is the hospital for the people going to be open? Another comment from a news spinner on Facebook reading, y'all think Trump really cares about the drugs? And finally, caller, those people in government do not have a vision for that. They only know how to party and create division in our country.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. Here is something we'll be discussing God spare next week on NewsSpin, and that is in light of the outcome of the general elections over in Barbados and some of the reasons that are being given for that overwhelming victory by the Barbados Labour Party. Talk of government using the resources at its disposal to win votes, and all the music and the entertainment enticing voters to come to their side. And I heard the same thing was being peddled in St. Lucia regarding the outcome of the last general election, the buying of votes and the government using its influence and the seat of power to basically lure the voters to its side. And this is being rejected outrightly by a University of the West Indies lecturer. He is Dr. Ronnie Yewood, who incidentally was also at the helm of the Democratic Labour Party in Barbados, and he was suspended from the DLP sometime last year.
It's more of like the public didn't get us,
Mhm.
you know.
Again.
Yeah.
None of us.
Oh yeah, or the other side had money in music. You know, there's only anybody who's in politics. There's only so much money will do. Yes, money is important, but there comes a point and a barrier when you hit a ceiling with when it comes to money, and the voters will either vote for you or not. Because I see people talking about buying seats and things like that, but there's only so much. There's only so much.
Because
at some point, the voters are making a decision that I am going to vote for X or I'm going to vote for Y. And I think the Democratic Labour Party has that set that its product is not working. The product is off and they're not getting it. From what I've seen in the commentary, they're still not getting it. And if the party had to continue on this trajectory, we'll probably see another 30-0 or maybe 28 or 29.
This was extracted from the podcast, which is called BIM First. Just heard there from, that should be a better BIM. You just heard there from Dr. Ronnie Yearwood, UWI University of the West Indies lecturer. Something that we'll be discussing during the course of our NewsSpin broadcast sometime next week. Finally, the NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads: single vaccine could protect against all coughs, colds, and flus, researchers say, according to the BBC. Single vaccine could protect against all coughs, colds, and flus, researchers say, according to the British Broadcasting Corporation. The NewsSpin news of the day. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye. Enjoy your Independence Anniversary weekend, and we'll be back next week. Goodbye.